There are 17 active wildfires burning in Saskatchewan this morning. 3 of those considered not contained, and 5 communities, including the town of Crichton, still under evacuation orders this morning. Tim McLeod is with us this morning. Among other things, he is the Minister of Corrections, Policing and Public Safety. He's in Lloydminster this morning. Tim, thanks for doing this.
Good morning, Daryl. Thanks for having me.
Let's start with where we are. We've seen the numbers of active wildfires go as high as 30, come back down to 13. We're about 17, as I mentioned this morning. Where do we stand as you sit here today?
Yeah, we're encouraged by the definite improvement in recent weather and reduction in the intensity of the fire activity. So we're pleased to see the number of active fires reduced and certainly the number of active fires that are classified as not contained has also fallen. So we're making good progress, and that helps us transition towards the recovery phase as our many communities that were evacuated are now repatriating and assessing the situation as it stands.
So what's your message to people at home, not just those who are evacuated, but those who are in nearby areas or even a little bit further away?
Well, you know what? I think this is a time where we really need to pull together. I've said it before. Tragedy often unites us and strengthens us. And this is a great example of how Saskatchewan can really pull together and get behind the families that did suffer loss. We know that many communities were saved by the heroic efforts of our frontline firefighters and the SPSA staff. But we also know that, unfortunately, there was some loss and some significant loss in communities like Denair Beach that will be rebuilding for quite some time. So I think that the message to the people of Saskatchewan is let's pull together and do what we can to really support that community and the other communities that have suffered loss from just some of these devastating fires that we haven't seen in quite some time.
We've heard from the Saskatchewan NDP on the water bomber that they allege has been sitting on the tarmac. We heard a brief statement from you guys yesterday in written form. I want to hear from you this morning. What is the situation with that water bomber as you know it?
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity to provide some clarity on this. It's unfortunate the NDP want to play politics and spread misinformation. The reality of the situation is we have one of 4 water bombers. They're air tankers. These planes they drop fire retardant, not water, and it arrived on May 30th, and we are excited to add it to the fleet. But the reality is, when a plane like this arrives, the pilots that have been training on simulators and doing ground school to operate that plane need to spend some hours in that plane training on it after it has arrived. When it arrived, we were in the state of a provincial emergency, and those pilots were desperately needed on the front lines. So the SPSA made the operational decision not to remove those pilots from active duty, protecting our communities so that they could train on the new plane, but rather continue to protect our communities and save lives with the fleet that we have. We have compacts with other provinces and some of the American states who have generously provided other resources, water bombers, air tankers. We've contracted over 40 helicopters to help put out these fires. We're anxious to add this plane to our fleet, and we will do that just as soon as it's safe for these pilots to train on it.
Tim, what have we learned through the whole process? What could we have done better?
Well, I think after any situation like this, you can always look back and assess where communication could have been stronger, or where maybe resources could have been deployed differently. But the SPSA have highly qualified pilots. They have incredible frontline staff that are doing their utmost best. I think it's important to remember a lot of these individuals who are out there battling the forest fires are protecting their own homes and their own communities. And tragically, in at least 2 of these situations, some of our pilots lost their own homes. And so they're doing their utmost best. They're fighting these fires to protect our communities. And we absolutely respect and we thank them for the hard work that they're doing. We're excited to add this new air tanker to our fleet, and we've got 3 more coming. We're very fortunate in Saskatchewan that we had the foresight to order 4 new air tankers to add to the fleet of planes that we already have. Other provinces that are looking are hearing that they're not going to get their first one until after 2030. And we've already got one on the ground, and it will be added this forest fire fighting season, and we're excited for that.
Great news. We appreciate that. We know the forest fire season is coming earlier. It's coming more often. It's more devastating as we go through. The Premier over the weekend tweeted that if a couple of them were intentionally set, there are people that you're looking at. Are you charging anybody at this point?
2 charges have been laid, and I understand that those individuals have already made their first court appearance. I know that there are many others that are being investigated. The last I heard, in the neighborhood of 30 individuals are suspected of and being investigated for intentional arson, and that's just an absolute shame when you think about the devastation that these fires cause. So our expectation is that the police, who we are very grateful for, are doing a fantastic job investigating these crimes, will continue to do that, and these individuals will be prosecuted.
Tim, thank you for a few minutes of your time this morning. Good luck out there in Lloydminster as you hold some joint meetings with Alberta.
Thanks very much, Daryl. I appreciate the opportunity.
The Minister, among other things, of Public Safety here in Saskatchewan.